so welcome to today's video. Thanks for joining me. Today we're going to sit down and play with makeup. Some of these things are recent additions to my collection that I shared in my recent Sephora haul videos. I did 2 videos when the Sephora sale was happening. I bought quite a few things that I really wanted to get my hands on, products that I wanted to try. I've been using some of these since those haul videos were posted, and I've got some feedback on some of them. And I'm also going to sprinkle in a few new things that I have yet to use that I purchased during the sale, and just some products that I've accumulated over the course of purchases that I've made, because I don't do haul videos every time I order products. So I do have a drawer full of things that I pulled from today. Some things are favorites that I have loved ever since I started using them. They're fairly recent, but they are absolutely incredible, and let's just say I'm obsessed, okay, with some of these products, and I just can't get enough. Some of the products that I'm going to sprinkle in today's video come from a Sephora favorite set that was available. I'm not sure if it's still in stock at the time of filming, but some of these products can be purchased individually. I think actually all of them can be purchased individually, which is great. But I have a few things that I wanted to play with, and this product is kind of one of those things that you can use on its own before product or foundations and concealers. But I feel like the idea behind this concept is for it to be mixed into something. So I have the Saie Super Gel, but this is the darker shade in the color called Sunglow. This came in a favorite set, as I mentioned earlier, but this is pretty dark, and I wanted to try this mixed in with my foundation. So during the sale, I picked up the Clinique Even Better Serum Foundation, and let me tell you, I have used this so much since I bought it. It is absolutely beautiful, wears so well throughout the day, and I just adore this formula. So I'm going to use this today, but what we're going to do is we're going to mix a little bit of the Saie in Sunglow into this, and we're going to see how far that takes us, how dark and bronze we get. We're just here to play with products, so let's go ahead and just mix these two together. Before mixing and applying, I'm going to take a little bit of my Rare Beauty Pore Diffusing Primer and apply that with my fingers. This is the primer that I like to use with this foundation. I feel like it's the best primer to go underneath it. I do have other ones that it works well with, but something about this primer, this smoothing and just kind of pore filling effect that it gives the skin, and that kind of soft blurred effect works well with this foundation. So that's kind of why I always pair this foundation with this primer. On my makeup palette, I did apply some of the products here so you can see this is my foundation that's kind of slowly starting to drip. And then here is the Saie product that has that bronze kind of shimmer and glow to it. I know there's lots of fingerprints on my palette, but hopefully you can kind of see what these look like. I'm going to mix the two and apply them with my beauty sponge. So I didn't use all of the Saie product that I pumped out on my palette because I didn't want it to be too dark to where I would have to now lighten the foundation. So I did about, probably I would say half of the amount that I pumped out. And it seems to have warmed up the complexion just a little bit with the mixing of that. There is a bit of a sheen to that product, but honestly, I'm not really seeing it as of right now showing up as a shimmer on my skin. Okay, so everything is looking like it normally does. So the Saie product hasn't really changed too much, the consistency and the blend and the coverage, which is great. And maybe because this is a gel-based product, so that could also be part of why it hasn't really changed the formulation of the foundation. So far so good. I like that. Now we get to do a little bit of concealer. I didn't buy a new concealer during the sale, but I did buy a new eye brightener, and it's from the Caliray line, and this is the Hideaway. So I'm going to use this, and I'm also going to go ahead and use the Even Better Serum concealer that goes with the foundation. And I have the light pink, which is called Dawn in the Caliray, and the shade Flax in the Clinique. Next up, we're going to do a little bit of baking with the Huda Beauty Easy Bake powder. This is the fragrance-free one that I bought during the sale. The shade that I ordered was Sugar Cookie, which is the one that looks white, but it is translucent. And I'm also going to be using the Velour Puff that I purchased from the Sephora collection. And I'm going to apply more than I think I need when it comes to setting powder. I've been doing this recently, so I'm applying more than I think I need. And this is going to look crazy, but you have to trust the process when it comes to baking. I've been doing this recently on and off since I got this powder to kind of test it out. And I've actually really enjoyed how it looks, how it blurs the pores, and how well it actually looks throughout the day. Then after I do that, whatever's left, I will just kind of press it over these areas that I didn't apply any of the powder to bake, just to set so that everything blends super seamless and easily over my foundation. And if you feel like you have too much powder, you're probably doing it right. While the bake sits, I'm going to do a couple of things. I'm going to start with a lip product to prep my lips and get them nice and soft for my lip product. And I'm going to go in with a Lawless lip product. This is the shade called Pink Marshmallow. I forget what these are called. It's not written on the packaging. It came in a set, but they're available individually. And it came with this and the Plumping lip filler. So I'm going to put a little bit of this lip balm on. And it's pretty much clear. Even though it looks like a light pink. Ooh, and it smells good. It's pretty much clear. There's no color to this, but I like how it's going to sort of soften my lips and get them ready for my lip product. And I feel a little bit of a kind of very, very, very subtle hint of like a mint kind of tingle. It's not painful. It doesn't sting. It doesn't burn. But there's something there. And maybe it is part of their plumping line. I'm not sure because this is the first time I'm using it on camera. So it's clear. It's going to kind of soften everything and get it ready. So it's going to do its job. Eventually, we're going to get to the lip product, but I do need to do my brows. I did pick up a new one of my brow pencil. I used the Lawless pencil. This is the Soft Fill, and I ordered the shade Teddy Bear. And I always want to say Teddy Brown, but it's Teddy Bear, and it's the perfect match. So I'm going to kind of zip through this, and I'm going to fast forward this portion of the video. But I also am going to sneak in another product that is not high-end. It's from the drugstore. It's a brow pen. It's the Maybelline Build-A-Brow. This stuff is so, so good. I absolutely love this. And the shade Ash Brown is perfect for my brows. Time to dust away the bake. And I'm using my Real Techniques setting brush. And I'm just lightly buffing this powder off. I'm adding a little bit of contour to my routine today. Something I don't do every single day, but I wanted to try this product out a little bit more. I'm using the Westman Atelier contour stick in the shade called Biscuit. And I'm going to use my BK Beauty 109 brush, which is the baby version of the 101. And it's angled and it's the perfect size to fit in the hollows of the cheekbones to contour. It's a great brush to do many things, but I'm going to use it to contour. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just swipe the brush across the stick product instead of striping this onto my face. I feel like sometimes that can get kind of messy for me personally. And I'm just going to find the hollows of my cheekbone and I'm going to just kind of push this in and I'm just going to place the product. This is going to look a little crazy, but again, you have to trust the process with these kinds of things. And find the hollows of the cheekbone. Do the same thing on the other side. The blend on this is so, so seamless and smooth. I know it looks crazy when you have just a stripe on your face or if you do this method like I'm doing today with the brush. It looks a little crazy, but you have to kind of blend this in and have some patience with it. I'm going to take a little bit on the tip of the brush and kind of sculpt right out here to kind of create a more lifted effect to my face and kind of just create a more lifted look. And then I'm going to take a little bit through the hairline as well. Just a tiny bit. Next, I'm just warming up my face with a little bit of bronzer. The newest bronzer that I bought during the sale was the Makeup by Mario Soft Sculpt in the shade Light Medium, and I love this formula. It's so smooth and it's easy to blend, and it's just perfect for the amount of bronze that it gives for my fair skin. This Light Medium shade is really, really nice, and it's just smooth. Goes on with ease. I'm going to switch gears and go to the eye look portion of the video, and then we'll come back to blush and highlight and, of course, the lip. The two products that I've been reaching for a lot in my collection, they're fairly recent. One was purchased during the sale and one was purchased beforehand, and I absolutely love it. The first one I'm going to show you is the one I've had a little bit longer in my collection, and it's the Natasha Denona Hyper Natural Face Palette. I love this palette. It literally has a lot of things that I use in my day-to-day routine. It's got two different blush shades. It has bronzer and a contour product, and it has 5 eyeshadows. I did a video talking about how much I love this everyday shade in my recent Bronze Eye and Juicy Peach Lip. That is the It look. I have been using this palette and that color the everyday, pretty much almost every day, and that lip combo was just everything. If you haven't seen that video, I'll link it here in the cards. It's the It look, okay? For eyeshadows, I think they are top quality. It's some of the best that you can find at Sephora. And then the other one, I'm gonna have to say the Makeup by Mario, the new Master Mattes, the neutrals. This I cannot put down. And what I've been doing is I've been combining both of these. I want to do a look with this and just do a quick and easy, maybe even an all matte look. I've done that a couple of times, and there's just something so soft so sophisticated looking about a all matte look. I don't know what it is, but it just looks so darn good. So I'm going to use this, and this is going to be the primary focus for today's eye look. I'm going to take this light shade here, the very first one in the palette, which is a light color. It's kind of like a light ivory white shade, and I'm going to use that to set my primer, which is the MAC Painterly Paint Pot. I always go to this one shade specifically when I start carving out my crease to create some depth and dimension, and I start with this very light shade here. It's like a dusty, light, cool pink shade, and I absolutely love this color. And I take it with my BK Beauty 212 crease brush, and I just apply that back and forth into my crease. And this just helps create kind of like a transitional type of shadow in my crease area that helps me blend some of the deeper shades. And I just kind of start every look off with this color. So I feel like I'm going to use this shade up a lot. I'm going to keep it easy for myself, and I'm going to continue using that 212 brush, but I'm going to hop over to the fourth shade, which is the top row, last shade, which is a little bit more of a traditional kind of tan shade. It's kind of neutral. It doesn't lean too cool or too warm. And I'm going to go right over the top, and that's going to add a little bit more depth and darken this crease area just a little bit more. I'm going to take this light shade and the second shade, which is a little bit more kind of peachy compared to this one. I'm going to mix the two by just going into each pan a couple times, tapping off the excess, and this is what I'm going to use to lightly buff around the edges of those colors and just continue to blend. For the lower lash line, I'm going to go into this shade here, which is a neutral brown shade. It's kind of like a mid-tone brown. It's not too light and it's not too dark. I'm going to take that shade and apply that to my lower lash line. I'm going to take an Angie Hot and Flashy BK Beauty 504 brush, and it's a tiny, tiny little crease brush, and I'm going to blend this out because this looks a little harsh, but it needs to be blended. So I'm going to take this brush with nothing on it first, and I'm going to soften the edges out just a little bit and kind of pull it down just a bit because I do like it a little bit thicker and smokier down in the lower lashes. This is an optional step, by the way. What I want to do is add a little bit of sparkle. I'm feeling a little bit like I want to add a little pizzazz to this look, right? So I talked about how I've been combining both of these palettes together to create a look, and I'm going to do that today. Even though the Natasha Denona is meant to be a one and done kind of thing, you can mix this palette with any other products you have in your collection, and I'm going to do just that today. And I'm going to take the shade called Dreamy, which is the topper shade in this palette, and it's absolutely beautiful. And I'm going to use my finger to apply it because that's how these were designed to be used. And I like to use my ring finger to apply this. This does give a little bit of fallout, so I'm just kind of warning you that it's good to sort of do a tapping and pressing motion instead of swiping it. Press down initially and then just press and move along from inner corner to outer corner. So what this does is creates the most gorgeous glow and dimension to the eye. It looks like crushed diamonds. I feel like this is a formula that anybody can use. It doesn't matter what your age is. The level of sparkle this is out of this world. It's very refined, very small, like bits of glow that you see on your lid. It's not chunky pieces. It's not painful, scratchy, and it's so easy to use. You just kind of tap it on as you saw with my finger, and it just elevates the entire eye look. And I'm telling you, this formula is something that can be used by someone in their 20s and someone in their 70s because the formula, it's just a very sophisticated, so chic. It is beautiful. I love the way she does glitter toppers. It's my favorite way of using glitter. I am going to tightline with the Sephora Collection pencils. This is the shade Tiramisu. I'm going in with one of the newer eyeliner pencils in my collection. This is from the Sephora Favorites set that I bought during the sale. This is from the brand called Kulfi. I've never tried anything from this line, and it's the Underline Kajal eyeliner in Chiku. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but it looks to be a nice dark brown. So I'm going to take this pencil and I'm going to just line right across my upper lash line, really thin, as close to the lashes as I can get. Oh no. Well, the tip just broke off, so that's not a good sign. Not a good sign. So I just need to be a little bit softer. So far, the eyeliner is okay. I like the tone of the brown and how it looks against the eyes with the shadows. I think brown is a color that I kind of reach for more often nowadays than black. But I don't like how it broke off. I do feel like I need to be a little bit softer and like a little less heavy-handed with it. But I have to give it another shot another day, maybe with less product on my eyes, maybe without having glitter. Maybe that could also help creating a more smooth base first before going in with this. So the jury's still out on this. I'm going to try it again. But the final thing for the eyes is something that I am very interested in trying. It's a brown mascara. I have not used a brown mascara, and it seems like a lot of brands are coming out with some of them. I ordered one from Tarte, the Man-Eater in brown. I have the Tower 28, which is what I'm going to use today, in the shade called Drift, and that's the dark brown. It came in the Sephora favorite set. I love the original Make Waves mascara in the black color. It is one of my favorite mascaras from Sephora. It is absolutely beautiful. It gives the lashes length, volume, thickness. It's beautiful, and I just adore this formula. There you can see there. It almost looks a little bit more like a dark brown, like a chocolatey brown, and so let's just go for it. So I feel like this formula seems to be a little bit more dry than I remember the black one. I thought the black one was just a little bit creamier and went on with a little bit more impact and oomph from the start. But it could just be because this is new and it will get better. I do really like that black one though. I do recommend the black formula. So I'm going to keep loading up my lashes. I'm going to do 2 coats. Mascara is done. I do like the way it looks. I was a little concerned how I was going to feel about the brown mascara because I've never used a brown mascara before and I wasn't quite sure the tone. I'm glad that the brown is very dark, so it kind of almost looks black from a distance. You probably can't even tell. And even up close, you probably can't even see that it's brown, which I personally like because I think that if it was like a lighter kind of mid-tone brown, I think it would make my lashes look a little weird, and I don't know if I would really like that. So I'm glad that the shade is dark. Going into blush, I'm going to hop into that Natasha Denona palette, and I'm going to use the 2 shades, and what I'm going to do is just mix the 2 together. And I'm mixing the 2 shades together to create a really nice soft pink shade, and I love this formula. The darker of the 2 blushes is actually very pigmented, and I can easily go overboard, as I often do with blush and bronzer, but I like mixing the light pink into it. I feel like it helps kind of tone it down. For highlight, I'm going to use the Makeup Forever Artist Highlighter in the shade Wherever Pearl. Again, it's one of my Sephora haul purchases. Really love this formula. Really dislike the packaging, but that's beside the point. The formula is great. Moving on to lips, the final part of this look, and I'm going to start off with the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Fair Lip Liner. This is the Lip Cheat Lip Liner that I picked up during the sale. Then I'm going to top that liner with the Lawless Forget the Filler Plumping Gloss in the shade called Velvet. What do you think? I actually really like the way this looks. I feel like that gloss, the Velvet Gloss, is the perfect match to go with that lip liner. And so I feel like I found yet another lip combo that I absolutely love. I love the formula of the gloss. It does have a little bit of a kind of cool, minty feel to the lips. But what I love the most is how well it sits on top of the lip lines and how it fills them in and makes the lips look smoother, more plump, more juicy, and they shine. It's like a high gloss shine, which I love. But everything else, honestly, is really, really good. I am just so thrilled to continue using these products and to use them in future videos. I think they're all just stellar. The formulas are just spectacular. I don't think I've used anything today that I would not use again or recommend because they are just that good. I'm going to continue playing around with the Saie product and adding that to some of my other go-to foundations to see how everything kind of works with that formula. Now that I have a bit of a deeper shade, I feel like I can mix it. I do have quite a few bronzing drop type of products. I feel like they're coming out everywhere left and right. There's a new one coming out on the market, so there's so many options to choose from. If you do this kind of technique where you add bronzing drops to your favorite foundations, which ones do you use? Which ones are your favorite? I'd love to hear from you and kind of get some feedback on that. Everything is going to be listed and linked for you down below. And I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope this was fun. And if you want any of the products, check the description box. And you can also subscribe for more videos like this in the future. We can be friends on Instagram. I would love to see you there. It always pops up here. Thanks for joining me. Have a great day, and I'll catch you in my next video. Bye-bye.